Greetings and salutations! So I am here to talk about Canada's Drag Race. So I watched the whole thing via my WoW Presents Plus subscription, which is only like $2.99 a month, and that's a really good deal considering everything you get with that. You get like all the foreign versions of the drag races, because I got like Canada at 8 o'clock every Thursday night when it was actually airing in Canada. You also get every single series they've put out for every single alumni, and there have been a lot. And then you get like all the Work the World docuseries, like all their old programming that they have on YouTube, like all the photo fashion reviews. I think it's a really good deal and well worth the money, and they're not even paying me to say that. I point that out because I believe VH1 is also airing Canada's Drag Race, but I think they're a few weeks behind. So, spoiler alert, I'm going to be talking about the entire series. So if you haven't seen everything yet up to the finale, stop watching, come back and watch when you've gotten there, because I'll be talking about the whole thing, the whole shebang, the whole enchilada, and I have a lot to say. So let's talk about some of the things that I liked first. I loved the queens themselves. There were so many amazing, vibrant, and talented artists on display. Some of my favorites were Juicebox, even though she sadly only lasted one episode. Boa was always like padded for the gods. Like, she really had that female illusion part down that, Trixie, she was just rolling her eyes the whole time about all these other queens. It just cracked me up. I loved Lemon. I love Kiara. Of course, I love me some Rita Baga. Alona Verley and Scarlett Bobo kind of had grown on me by the end. I really liked her as well. I thought every episode was incredibly entertaining, just because of the queens themselves. They're just so dynamic and charismatic. Like, even with the shit challenges, they made it so much fun to watch every single week. And, that has to be commended. Casting did do right by that part with who they put on the show. So now, I'm not the biggest conspiracy theorist or anything. I'm not one of those people that claims Rigga Morris every season and every opportunity. But the way this season went down seems highly suspect and suspicious to me. But we'll get to that. But first, let's get the result out of the way.
What's my name?
Snoop Doggy Dogg? Oh, I mean Priyanka. Priyanka won. Yay. Yes, queen. Work. You go, girl. I literally read that people were cheering, moved to tears, hysterically crying and sobbing, constructing edifices, building monuments, doing victory laps, Cabbage Patch, death dropping, backflips, etc. when she was crowned. Like, people were overcome with emotion and they were so overjoyed. She did that. She clearly has the vast majority of the audience feeling some sort of way about her. I hope she uses her reign to end COVID and bring about world peace, because I really feel like she's got the power. Yeah, like, she can do it, because the response to her win was I was blown away, as Carrie Underwood would say. Now, I want to be straight up about my biases, because unlike some people and production companies, I think that transparency is important, so I'm just going to put that all out there. I have not really cared for Priyanka since episode 3, which was the girl group episode. I didn't think her rap was all that. I didn't think her runway episode was all that. I felt her talking heads were numerous to the point of being excessive and giving her an unfair advantage when it came to the rooting interest of the audience, because like every other minute, here's Priyanka, here's Priyanka, here's Priyanka. Like, that really isn't fair to the other contestants. I'm also not really sure I buy that story about her dad not knowing that he's gay, because, hello, does his dad have eyes? Like, I mean, come on now. How could his mother, like, literally be his number one supporter and fan? Or his parents not married? How is his mom going to keep that from her husband? You know what I mean? That just wasn't adding up to me. It seemed like some kind of ready-made sob storyline, which I am not here for. It just smelled like a stunt, really. Also, Priyanka has worked in TV for many, 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 many years. So she knows all about production. She has so many connections in the television world in Canada. Like, she just played everything like a fiddle, you know, and she had a lot of help on the backside. It almost felt like she maybe shouldn't have been cast in the first place, because that kind of seems like a conflict of interest, but what do I know? As the competition grew on and her performances just became more and more uneven, like, girl, what was that Miss Cleo?
Oops.
It started to feel like she was a plant almost, and like she was being kept around for reasons merely beyond this being a reality drag competition. I also thought some of her looks were questionable. Her lip syncs were very sticky and gimmicky to me. I will die on that hill saying that Kiara won that I Drove All Night lip sync, because she did. Kiara fucking killed that, right? I even think Alona did a better job of selling that Ali X song. But, you know, Priyanka, the judges were dying with laughter, and I'm like, this isn't even that funny. Initially, I thought Priyanka was going to be like the shock 5th place boot, but it soon became apparent that she was there for the long haul. And to my surprise, this is my shocked face, she was crowned. Yes, Priyanka, my queen. So what am I getting at, really? Well, this is where things get kind of confusing, because I'm going to be talking about edits and storylines, and that is not really what the production team wants the general audience to know about or think about. They just want you to easily consume what they're feeding you and then make you feel some sort of way, and then you're happy with what happens on the show, but a lot goes into what you see. This ties into one of the huge problems that many people had with this season, and that was the judging, the critiques, the placements. They seemed incredibly random and inconsistent and confusing. But I'm starting to think they were being intentionally obfuscating to hide their favoritism of their chosen one, Priyanka. So my favorite queen in the competition was Montreal's Rita Baga. She's such a dream. So regal, so elegant, so poised. And she had the fucking talent to back it up. Rita was the front runner most of the way through the competition, winning 3 maxi challenges. But, and there's a but, there were a couple of those maxi challenges that she really did not deserve to win. And I also low-key think she should have won that girl group challenge, because not only was she singing, doing that witchery cursing, condemning Lemon's entire team, not making it to the end.
Team Lemon ain't gonna make it to the end.
Yeah, Rita did that. And if Rita had won that girl group challenge, that would have, correctly padded her resume for the end. But they didn't want that, for reasons that will become apparent. Her runway that week was also fire. I must say that Quebecy with the good hair, that was good stuff. The very first week was a design challenge, and while she created a cute jacket, the dress underneath was a bit of a mess, and she never should have won that. And let's be real, Starzy, who was only just safe this challenge, like, what the fuck? She was straight up robbed. She made this gorgeous red ensemble with a coat, like a puff coat or whatever. Like, it was fucking amazing to die for. I lived, I died, I came back to life. I loved it. I was so mad that she was only safe. Like, what the fuck? I think it was during week 7 when the queens had to create legal commercials, and Rita won this challenge as well, and many felt it was at the expense of Jimbo, who was the overwhelming crowd favorite. Like, People went crazy for Jimbo. They were probably having, I was going to say viewing parties, but because of COVID, I don't think there really are viewing parties. But I think, there were shrines erected in his honor because everyone was about Jimbo. Like, his rabid fans were crazy. This one was incredibly confusing because the producers gave us no kind of storyline to set up Rigga even being a contender for this win, let alone ultimately the winner. They gave no context at all, so it just seemed completely random, like they had just picked her name out of a hat and said, "Congratulations, Rita Baga, you win this challenge." At the time, I wasn't sure why they were giving her this, what I have called the Sherry Pie winning in the episode non-edit edit, which of course refers to how Sherry Pie was practically erased from season 12 after the allegations of her sexually harassing folks came to light, and she was, subsequently disqualified from the competition. So they didn't want to give her any airtime. But Rita wasn't disqualified. Rita wasn't catfishing folks. So why are you doing Rita like that and making her look bad? But if you look closely, you can see why they wanted Rita to look bad and why they wanted her wins to seem undeserved. Rita wound up making the final 3 and, on paper anyway, was the biggest threat to Priyanka. But like in reality, in a fair competition, Rita would have been the winner, in my opinion. So by turning the audience against Rita before we've even made it to the finale, there's no outrage when she ends up coming short. Clever. But the real problem with this was that in the producer's zeal to make Rita unlikable and undeserving, they created so much harm that it was flat out irresponsible. At several points they made like Rita was just flat out winning things that Jimbo deserved, right down to having Rita eliminate Jimbo in the final 4 lip sync and, keeping Jimbo out of the finale. I'm not quite sure if the producers knew exactly how beloved Jimbo would become, but I'm pretty sure they had a good idea. Like, someone could make a whole video about Jimbo's journey on Drag Race, and maybe I will someday, but, that's neither here nor there. Like, it was fucking epic.
Hello, Jimbo. Welcome to the competition, honey.
The producers set up Rita and pretty much Rita alone to deal with the backlash and the wrath of Jimbo's fanatic audience. It got so bad that she received death threats. She had to step away from social media. Like, it was just absolutely horrible. And, all that, why? So Priyanka looks better? Like, it's just not right.
I'm Canada's first ever drag superstar!
The online Drag Race fan community can be one of the most toxic and horrible places like I have ever seen. I will never understand what possesses somebody to want to go and tell a queen about herself. Like, it doesn't even make any sense. I don't know why anybody would want to harass a queen online. The queens are not judging the competition. They're not the ones you need to be mad at. Sometimes it ain't even the judges that are judging the competition. I'd say 8 times out of 10, the people you need to be mad at are the production team, the producers. They're the ones that are responsible for pretty much everything you see on any given episode. So if you're going to be mad at somebody, be mad at them. Send the hate their way. But really, just don't send any hate at all. It's just not a good look. Seriously. Like, I really don't get the anger because this is a competitive reality show. And it's not life or death. Like, good God, girl, get a grip. It might be a wee bit more constructive to actually do something that you actually have power over. Like making a video about the season, like I am. So yes, it was incredibly irresponsible for them to do Rita like this. With fan favorite Jimbo eliminated in 4th place, Rita made to look undeserving, and the other finalist, Scarlett Bobo, only having 1 win at the end, and therefore also looking undeserving. Well, what's her name? Oh yeah, Priyanka is by far the finalist that the majority of the audience is cheering for, rooting for, with all those confessionals. Everybody just loves Priyanka now, and she has no competition in the eyes of the audience. And guess what happened? Despite not having the experience, poise, track record, uniqueness, or talent, and that's just in my opinion, Priyanka was crowned anyway, and everybody foamed at the mouth in joy. I have never seen such a stunt pulled off so effortlessly, so brilliant. They truly turned Canada's Drag Race into Canada's next best personality race. Like, it was iconic, truly, legendary, amazing stuff. So when I think of Canada's Drag Race, first and foremost, I will think of the amazing producers and the amazing job they did producing this story and telling the story that they wanted to tell so successfully. I think maybe we should crown the production team instead, because especially because ending the series in such a feel-good way where everybody is so happy about the winner, it just makes people forget about the issues that there were with the series. The bizarre and inane judging, the way that Judge Jeffrey Boyer Chapman was bullied off Twitter despite not being any more harsh in his critiques than his white counterpart Brooklyn Heights. The way the 3 black queens were eliminated back to back to back before the halfway point of the competition. Like, at least keep Kiara around a little bit longer. That bitch was fierce. So I'm really excited about season 2. Hopefully there will be less Rigga Morris, less producer shenanigans, more amazing drag queens and amazing drag. And I feel so bad for Rita Baga because she's gotten the brunt of all of this. And I think a lot of people thought she was going to win anyway. And I'm not saying that would have made everything that had happened before okay. But at least, you know, she would have the crown despite all of the horrible things people have been saying to her. But I know that Priyanka will be like the people's queen and the first winner of Canada's Drag Race. And I know it sounds so cheesy, but Rita Baga will always be Wally's queen. I love you, girl. And one day I'm going to make it to Montreal to see you because you're fucking fierce. So that's all I got for this one. If you like this video, please hit the like button, subscribe, and I will see you in my next one. Bonsoir. It's like 6 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, but bonsoir.
No, this will be my final act. Thank you.